Hi, I'm Sandy. Thank you for taking the practice test today. I'm going to go over some logistics with you and just walk you through the platform so you're comfortable before you get started. I'm going to start by sharing my screen. So your screen should look like this, where you should have two tabs open at this point. You should have the practice SAT in front of you, and then the next tab should be the student feedback form. If you don't have both of these open now, please raise your hand for your proctor, and your proctor will stop this video to make sure that everybody is all set. Okay, hopefully you are all back and all set now. This here is the student feedback form from the digital SAT. This has everything I'm going to talk to you about right now. So if you are stuck or confused at any point during the test, you can come in here and see what you need. This is just saying for basic practice test notes, this is only a diagnostic test. The only people who are going to see your scores are you and your parents. So please be comfortable. Don't be nervous. Don't worry. There is nothing you can lose here. This is just a diagnostic. There's no guessing penalty, so make sure that you answer every question. You should work for accuracy over speed, but when you see that your timer is getting lower, you should guess, so you don't want to leave anything empty. Make sure that you have these items available to you now, the 5 blank pieces of paper, so that you can use them for scrap paper during the math section of the SAT. Note when you're using that scrap paper, make sure to keep it organized. So if you're answering module 1 of math, number 5, make sure that it shows it's module 1, number 5, because we will be able to use that when we are working on prep. Make sure you have a charger for your computer and your cell phone is there on silent and notifications are turned off. If you are using your own calculator, you want to have that with you at this time as well. Big picture of the digital SAT, there are 4 modules. The first 2 are verbal, which are each 32 minutes. The second 2 are math, which are each 35 minutes. You're going to have a 10-minute break between each section. So the verbal section is the 2 modules, then you'll have a 10-minute break. Then the math, which is 2 modules. You will have the option of skipping through that break if you want to, but be sure that you know that if you do skip through, or if you, as soon as the timer goes off, it's going to go right into the next module. So you do need to be there. At the end of the test, you're going to take photos of each one of your scrap paper pages and text it to this cell phone number. Make sure your name is on every page, and then complete and submit this form. And we won't see anything on this form until you complete it all. So you're going to put in your email, your first and last name, that you're taking the digital SAT, the test number that you're taking. Most of you will taking SAT 1. If you're taking another, just write that number. And then you're going to fill in your thoughts on each module that you took, and then any thoughts or questions that you have here, and then don't forget to hit submit. So with that, we're going to get back into the actual practice test. I'm going to walk you through not the practice test. You're taking digital test 1. I'm just going to go to test 6 so that you're not seeing questions you'll be seeing shortly. So when you're ready to start the test, you're going to pull up the practice test here, and you're going to hit start. This is going to give you an overview of the directions. You can take the time to read the directions, and I'm going to show you just right now while I'm taking the test a few of the tools that are here for you to use. So as we go in, as soon as we hit begin section, the timer starts going. So when I hit begin section, I'm going to see my first question. I can highlight anything in the question that I'm interested in. If I want to delete what I highlighted, I would just click back on it. So highlight, you can delete highlight. Then as you're going through your questions, you can, and you know it's not this, and you know it's not this, you can eliminate it, and then go ahead and make your selection, and then go to your next question. If you're on a question, you want to come back to it later, you would just click come back to it later, and then that question gets flagged with the little orange dot. You can jump around to all questions within this module, but I don't recommend you do that. I recommend you go through one at a time. And then when you get to your last one, you would come back here to the one that you needed to come back to. Try that. Then when you're finished, you're going to hit end module. It's going to say you won't be able to come back, so don't forget to check your work. So you're going to end the module, and it's going to put you right into the next reading and writing module, which you will do the same thing as you did before. You will go through your questions, answering the questions, flagging them if you want to come back to them later. Keep going through. When you're finished, you're going to end the module. And then you are going to get to this 10-minute break. So this timer here is going to be going. Each one of you will be at your own pace through this test. So you can work at your own pace. If you finish early and you get here, that's fine. Other people may be behind. It really doesn't matter. The proctor will be keeping track of all of you. But you can, if you let this timer run down, as soon as it gets to 0, it's going to put you right into the math section. If you just skip break, which we're going to do right now, is going to take you right to the next section as well. So if we go to skip break, we are now in the math module. And here we also have the section instructions for math. Do take the time to look over these while they're all here. You can also highlight and eliminate and flag within the math section. So look these over so you're comfortable with that. The timer is not going to begin here on this practice test until you're ready to hit start. When you're taking the real SAT or PSAT, you will not get to reread these instructions. So make sure you're comfortable with them now during your practice test. Then you're going to begin the section. And I just want to point out here that you have a calculator and a reference sheet. So what I'd like you to do right when you get into this section, pull up the reference sheet, and it will open on its new tab in here. So now you know that this is here and you have all these reference points to come back to. Go back to the tab with the test and then open this calculator. So this is the Desmos calculator that you're going to have access to throughout the practice SAT. You can open up the keyboard here to use the calculator this way, or you can hide the keyboard and just use the graphing calculator. You also have the option of using the calculator that you have brought on your own during this test. So for math, same as the reading, we're just going to go right through, keep going with each question. Some of these questions are going to be the grid-in questions where you're going to type your question in here like this. These are random throughout the test. There's not any specific place where there's going to be some that you have multiple choice or some that you have grid-in. So just go ahead and go through this way. And then when you are finished this, you're going to end module. And then it's going to go right into Math Module 2. Remember that you have your Desmos calculator open here. You have your SAT resources open here. Keep going through this test. When you finish this, you're going to end the module. And that is the end of the test. Then you are going to come right over here into the student feedback. And in here, first text photos of your scratch math papers and send them to this cell phone number. Make sure your name's on every page. Then complete all of these questions, hit submit, and you are finished for today.